Mr. Allard's neighborhood. Small town feel with big time ideas. After all, you are entitled to Brad's opinion. Here's your host, Brad Allard.
Good morning. It's another great morning. Got an early show today because it's a doubleheader. We have a show at 11, have a show right now. Okay, Goodell of the Cleburne Railroaders. And she's going to tell us all about what's going on with the team and what that got coming up and how they're just destroying the league and whatnot. What position y'all in right now?
I'm pretty sure we're still in first. We've had a crazy last week and a half of around the field, so it's been exciting.
Yeah, it is, and it's really been great to see how y'all have embraced the community as well, because you've already had a couple of special shows when I talk about special games. You had the first responders game, and you had one for the Amanda Mann Clark Project just this past weekend. How did that go?
Those went awesome, and I'm really excited that we're able to reach all of these local nonprofits and charities in the community just because we're giving back. I know we've got your Harvest House coming up, and Young Life is coming up. There's so many coming up that I'm just over the moon about.
Right, we'll be focusing on that, plus you have a big July 4th routine. And it's going to be lots and lots of fun. I'm trying to get my show to load up here, but we're having a little bit of lag time in the with the Facebook, but that's pretty common. So anyway, let's just talk about our friends that are sponsoring this show. First of all, our friends over at Our Place. I bet you've been there. You don't live very far from there, right?
Oh, I'm right down the street, so I'm a frequent.
Very frequent, but diner there. It's a great place, great food, all the things that we want in a restaurant. Also, they have been to Gina's Pizza yet. You need to go by there. It's a great place. It's they do really good work. It's the same kind of service and quality food, but it also has that bluesy atmosphere with the in the back. Taylor, I'm trying to load up to Facebook, but I'm just getting that little spinning circle, which I'm going to put on my gravestone one day. Should we just do this again?
No, I mean, it's live. We're live.
Oh, no. That's not what I meant. I mean, the sharing here.
Oh, yeah, I can send you another link.
Yeah, send me another link if you would, because this one just seems to be stuck. Anyway, back to the matter at hand. Thank you all for what you do. It does a lot of stuff for the community, so that's a great thing. And also another sponsor who does a lot of stuff for our community is the guys over at Wild Cigar. They do a lot of community-based outreach and such. They have a party going on a week from Friday, a tiki party, and it's going to be giving away a grill. Are you a cigar smoker by any chance?
I am. I've gone here quite a few times, actually.
You are?
Yeah.
Are you really? Well, I saw your face kind of start smiling when I put that one up to see you. Gone and go to get you have a certain cigar you like?
I'm not that good in the world yet.
Okay.
But I do love that the atmosphere there is amazing.
Mm-hmm. It is. And the owner is a former student of mine, Chris Notaboom, and he and his partner Nathan do a great job. And I'm really glad to have them on board. Also, thank you to Tiffany and Nico over at Local Life Magazine. If you want to advertise in this area, it's a great place to do it because it has 30,000 recipients of its magazine, plus a lot of the retailers have extra copies for you to peruse over. And so I'd call Tiffany and Nico and see what she can do for you over there. She also can do some social media for you if you're in need of that. So check out Tiffany over at Local Life Magazine or locallifetx.com. And then here comes my friends from BNI Southern Gym. You ever been over there?
I have not yet.
Yeah, you like jewelry?
I do.
You go over there. A lot of people go there just like, wow, this is really, really nice. It's the hometown lady jeweler, she calls herself, but she gets people that come from like an hour and a half away. Customers come from Waco and Stephenville and such as that. So my wife works here too, so you can schmooze with her if you want.
Spot.
Well, it is, and they do repairs, they do designs, and they have inventory, of course, and they do the whole thing. So it's a full-service jeweler. Also, our friends over at Two Maid Cleaning, twomaids.com/Burleson, 817-764-0733. They do homes, businesses, apartments, whatnot. They do the Windmiller Building. They do like Gala's place, for example. And they get paid based on your rating. And they have all sorts of plans. So if you want it like weekly, bi-weekly, one-time deep cleaning, whatnot, a lot of us at BNI use them for either ourselves and or parents, because, they're getting that point. So they got all sorts of plans to help you with that. Also, thank you to Old Pro Roofing, John Williams, 817-734-2756 here in Old Town. They're local people, and all this stuff goes on in the springtime and early summer. You're going to get a lot of guys knocking on your door if you have roof needs, but you want to deal with somebody that you can count on and find. And so 817-734-2756 will get you John out there, and he'll give you the honest assessment of your roof. Now, you were saying maybe you might be looking to buy a house. You could talk to these people right here at Camco Mortgage. Here in town, good people. Their office is right across the street from Fish City, so you're not dealing with somebody in Detroit or whatever else.
Yeah.
And I've done business with them in the previous stop they were in, and they handled my refinancing very, very easily. It is kind of a process, and they hold your hand through the process, so you don't ever feel like you're getting lost in all the paperwork. So Sammy Campbell at 817-778-4592, Candy Gal 817-925-2661. So if you're looking to do a refinance, you're looking for a new finance, they're the people to talk to. And another guy to talk to if you're looking to buy a home is Jeff Kelly over at the Weathington Agency. Call him at 817-781-0546. His office, 817-720-6300, or Jeff at jeffkellyrealty.com. I'll get you his email. I know he has a couple of houses that he's showing because they're on the Facebook, and I share it with you. So give him a holler if you're looking to buy in the area. There's a lot of houses that don't actually make it to the market, so he knows about those. And then I talked to other real estate people, and they said a lot of times houses are being sold without ever being listed. So you need somebody to help you go through all of that. So you think about buying a house, are you? Let me tell you something about buying a house.
It's coming up.
Right now, I'm learning the joys of home ownership. Last week, as my faithful fans will tell you, I had this water problem and had to get a group from Stop Restoration come and clean up the mess. That was something. And we're getting a house repainted right now, and the house looks like somebody shook it like a snow globe. And then next week, we're getting new flooring, and it's... It really is. It's stressful living like that. Taylor, my Facebook isn't loading, so I'm going to have to just wing it.
We are live, so
I know we're live, and we're going out there, but I can't get it to. I won't be able to share. That's the problem. So, but I can get it to share later, but I won't be able to get.
Right.
But it's irritating.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. That's part of the fun of. I know what the problem is. I'm going to try to fix it. Just give me a second. I know, but it's still... Hey! None of that, will you? All right, I'm trying to just get this taken care of. But anyway, so tell us what's going on with the Railroaders while I finagle this thing here.
Yeah, we've got a lot. We're on the road right now in a town I cannot pronounce in Wisconsin. I've tried. It's not simple. Playing the Lake Country Dockhounds. Had a win last night, so that was awesome. Couple home runs there. We're really just on a roll, really on all fronts. Last week we had some blowout games, and we're just keeping that going. So it's been awesome to watch and enjoy. We're holding on to first. 5-6 of our players holds league leading roles.
Really?
Almost every category. It's crazy.
Mostly batting or also other things?
We've got some pitchers in there as well, but we're definitely taking charge of the batting for sure.
Well, that's good because, pitching is great for us, old timers, but a lot of the fans want to see runs being scored. They want the offense. And so you have like a home run king or something like that on the team?
We've got a few home run kings, a few RBI kings. We've got them all. I know Cardall Andretti holds 5 out of 8 offensive titles right now in the league, and Brian O'Grady's holding on to first with the home runs this whole season. We've got Jax Grossens, Tom and Stillard. They're all up there with all those home runs and hits every single day.
All right, I fixed the problem. Here we go. But anyway, that's what gets the fans out there. Particularly, they go out there and I go out there. I'd like to see a well pitched game, but a lot of the more casual fans, they want to see big hits, extra base hits, slides into home plate, whatever else.
Yeah.
But let's about yourself personally. You're new to Texas, right?
I am. I moved here in October.
And you see the sun. You got the sunburn that comes with all.
I kind of rock it from now on for the rest of the summer, I think.
Yeah. Well, so you go out there and came from Colorado, and then it's a totally different environment. You're not lived through a Texas summer yet, have you?
No. May was rough. I'm outside most every day, especially when the team's home on the field. So August is gonna be interesting.
Yes, well, it will be, but the season will be over by the end of August, right? Like you go into early September, and then the regular season's over, and then you have playoffs and whatnot. Yep. It sounds like you're pretty likely to make the playoffs. When you play, how many teams are in the league? And what league is it? What's the league called?
We're in the American Association of Professional Baseball. We're an MLB partnership league. So having that designation is a really big honor for us. There is, I think, 12 teams in our league. So a lot of teams to go up against, and there are a lot of really good teams out there. So holding this first place spot right now has been awesome. We're about a quarter of the way through the season. Really?
Well, I know that y'all travel a lot because you're talking about a team in Wisconsin. I know you opened up with Winnipeg, which, wow, I mean, that's a road trip. Have you gone out there yet?
I personally have not. I'm saving my road trip for the Kansas City All-Star break this July. But, yeah, we travel up and down the entire Midwest all the way into Canada. So those boys, they really don't ever get a day off.
Really? You know, and so is it like Bull Durham? They all pile in a bus and take the 8-hour, 10-hour ride. Of course, that's the closest one is 10 hours, right? Kansas City.
Yes, yeah, that's our closest trip. And yeah, they pile on that bus and have a grand old time.
Yeah. So we were talking about, you know, we get on the bus, you go to Kansas City, and then your next one, I believe, would be Chicago. I guess would be a closer one.
Yep, Chicago, Sioux City, Sioux Falls, Gary. They're all in and around that Chicago, Wisconsin area.
Really? How did y'all hook up with these guys? I mean, are there not any teams in Texas, like in El Paso or Midland or anything like that?
Most of the teams around here are all affiliated ball. So we are actually the only American Association team in Texas, which is pretty cool for us.
Yeah. Well, you say you're partnered with Major League Baseball. All right. Most people, when they think of minor league baseball, they think like the Rough Riders in Frisco, or they think of Round Rock or whatnot because they're tied in with the Rangers. But y'all are not tied in with a team. You're tied in with the league. So what does that do for you, being tied in with the league as opposed to being tied into to some major league team?
Yeah. On the player side, it gets them a lot more exposure. We have scouts come into all of our games, every homestand, from New York to Miami, all of those teams, not just our one affiliated club, which is really exciting. And selfishly on the marketing side, we get a lot of extra perks for, say, MLB Play Ball Weekend is this weekend, and we, being a partner league team, get the opportunity to participate in that. So we are actually going down to Rio Vista on Friday for the weekend and taking over a Little League. We're transforming the ballpark into a Railroaders game. We've got our MC, our music, our PA guy, all of the fun games we play between innings, and we're just putting on that show during a Little League game, and we're really excited for that.
Really? Have you been there yet?
I have not gone to see the field yet, so it's going to be a long day tomorrow.
No offense, vast listening audience, but Rio Vista is different.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I mean, they're isolated, so they're very, in tight little community. So
it seems like a really great community, and
it's fine.
I think the struggles are going to be me figuring out how to get my sound system hooked up to theirs.
Yeah, well, that'd be fun. You got to do that here over at Chisnall Park.
There's so many opportunities for us to do this, and I think the MLB backing this and helping us progress this is just the first stop. We could do this all summer long.
Well, it's interesting to me. You mentioned earlier about scouts coming in. How do they get word of your players? I mean, you just mentioned several that are league leaders. I mean, how do you get that information to the teams?
Yeah, internally on our staff, we send out pre and post game reports every single day. I've got an incredible staff that really heads that up and helps get out the word. But the league as well has constant communication with MLB and all of their scouting departments and everything up there, where everyone's in talks all the time. So they're getting scouting reports and all that information every day.
Do you talk to the scouts?
Me, no, not personally.
Well, you have a player personnel guy, I'm sure.
Yes.
Yeah, GM of sorts, and handles the who's on the team and all the moves. How much does the team fluctuate in personnel during the course of a season?
During the season, on the player side, a lot more frequent, not so much on the staffing side.
Yeah, but that's figured like you go to a Frisco game, and you go to one early June and go to one early July, and the team half of it may be different because they've either been called up or sent down or traded or whatever else. Y'all do trades in y'all's league?
Oh, yes. Yep. We actually have 2 new guys. One of the guys who hit a home run last night, Cam Cannon, was a trade that just came in. It was actually a second game with us. So that was a huge pickup for us on a trade for a player to be named later.
So you call up the guys in Winnipeg and make a trade like that. But see, these guys, I'm just thinking, though, do most of these guys are local guys, or I thought they were?
We have a lot of guys from Texas, which is really awesome, but we still have guys from all over the country and even the world. So it's not limited to just local, but we have that unique opportunity to have a lot of local.
Well, see, I kind of envision some of your players maybe living in the Cleburne area, maybe married, have kids, or young children anyway. And so I always thought of the railroaders basically as not just a bunch of guys playing baseball. I mean, I'm sure you had plenty of guys that like 5 to an apartment and that kind of thing. But a lot of them I thought would be also tied into the community. I know the team chaplain is a former student of mine, Todd Barham, and we were talking at one of the games, and he said, well, this guy's wife is a nurse, and this guy, I said, what do they do in the off season? Well, and this guy substitutes school for teachers and so I had a feeling they were all local guys, but basically a lot of them are not, right?
Yeah, there's plenty that come from all over, and when the season ends, they look for winter ball and another team, and it's their career, so they're focused, they're constantly working out and doing their best.
So this, I just don't want to give people the impression that just as a bunch of guys, this is like semi-pro where they finish their day at the lumber yard and then come play baseball. This is professional baseball. This is their career.
Yeah.
And I would bet a lot of them go to Mexico or the Caribbean in the wintertime.
Yeah. Our roster this year is really unique where I think over 85% of our team has had MLB debut experience, but most of them have all played AA and above. So they've got that. Well,
I hear about a lot of these minor league players that go and they play in the winter leagues down in the Caribbean and things of that nature, even if, they're not from there, And so when you say MLB debut, what does that exactly mean?
Yeah, a lot of our pitchers, they've been to the show. They've gone out on that mound and all the Globe Life Field and all those different fields.
I mean, like in a game, not just to practice.
Correct, yeah. Yep. Right. They've had game time up there, and so they bring that experience to our club, and especially with our younger guys, it helps really help them grow.
Well, that's interesting because I bet the arrangements are different at the major league level.
Just a little bit.
They're not taking a bus to Winnipeg, are they?
Probably not.
Yeah, I wonder how hard it is to adjust after you've been to the show for even just for a season-end call-up or something like that, and then go back and do this routine. It must really want to play baseball.
Oh, yeah. They have the heart, and then this is their whole life. Baseball is everything to them, and they're just doing the best that they can to keep playing longer.
What's the average age of these players, do you think?
Usually mid to late 20s is typically what I'm seeing. We have definitely some older, some younger guys that are just getting out of college, kind of all over a little bit.
Well, and I was thinking if, you have players in their 30s, they must be pretty dedicated to this. I guess this is better than a real job kind of thing, playing baseball. You're getting paid to do it,
Yeah, they've got the best job.
Yeah, I don't know how much she'll pay, but I'm sure, Major League pays better. So
I assume so.
Yeah, but still, I'm not going to ask you their salaries or anything like that, but they do have to be pretty careful with their money, I bet, and don't, probably all live in, 3 to 4 to an apartment and things of that nature because they probably save as much money as they can.
Yeah, and I've met guys that they have other jobs or realtors in the off season or on their off days. They're doing whatever it takes to keep playing the game that they love.
How many players on the team, as far as your experience been, how many of them have moved up?
A good bit. We've already had 2 so far this season, and we're only a month in, so that's huge for us.
Where did they go?
We had Juan Hillman. He got signed up by the Colorado Rockies, so he is playing AAA ball in Albuquerque. Last I checked, it's been about a week or 2. But
I don't know how the other teams do it. I don't know what the Rangers do. They put their prospects in AA and on the AAA team. Those are the call-ups that for 10-day periods or take somebody's place on the IR and that kind of thing, but as far as the reason why a lot of people like go to the Frisco games is because you hear about these guys getting drafted. That's where they dump them, or don't dump them. That's where they put them to get experience. And so if you go to a Frisco game, you're going to see future Rangers, hopefully. And then now you're telling me you can do the same thing at the Railroaders, right? You can see future major leaguers.
Realistically, a lot of these guys, you will hear their names and see their names all over the country in the next few years, which is just phenomenal to be able to be here for them.
You think the Railroaders are leading the league, so to speak, in those kind of prospects, or is that just pretty typical of this independent league?
I think it is typical, but we're really unique here to have so many at once. Pete Incaviglia, our manager, has built such a strong and really good team that it's one of the best that I've gotten to work with.
Well, I remember Pete when he played here. I was living in Arlington. In fact, my just gotten married and whatnot, and I remember in Cavilla, I'd run across him at the Albertson store there on Collins every now and then. That's interesting. I'm sure he remembers those fondly. But anyway, but I just think it's cool to have somebody that's recognizable as a manager.
Yes.
Because I mean, like when you told me on your first time we were talking about Pete in Cavilla, I immediately knew that name. I remember him playing for Oklahoma State, and so because I watch college baseball a little bit. I don't watch it like throughout the season, but I watch it in the tournament and that kind of thing.
Oh yeah, you gotta.
Yeah, well, yeah. But as far as the Railroaders are concerned, though, how do you market yourself besides just coming by this lovely studio? Which these cameras, Taylor, are amazing.
Yes, sir. Can you say that one more time?
These are
amazing.
They're new cameras and also new lighting, so he's pretty excited. He's not going to have children. He's going to have cameras and lights.
There we go.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
These are less trouble than children, I can tell you.
That is very true.
So, but how do you market yourself?
All over. We just want people to know our name and know our brand. And I think this year we so far have done a phenomenal job of that. We've offered a lot of new things at the ballpark, off the field, on top of having a great team.
I agree because we all knew the Railroaders were, we knew they were around, and I'm not really trying to throw shade on the previous management of the team, but the new ownership, which you came in with, right? You came in with the new owners, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I could talk about the old owners, all right? But anyway, the old owners, I mean, they did what they could, but y'all do a lot more aggressive marketing. And I think one of the great things you do is the tie-ins to the local community organizations. I have several of those that are on the show, and I know you had Next Step Women's Center, which they're going to be on next week. No, 2 weeks, all right? Yeah. Have you had Crazy Eights yet?
Crazy Eights is actually our July 4th game, so I'm
Okay.
really excited for that one. They did come out and table this past weekend, and I've worked with them on a few things. So.
Okay, they're going to be on Tuesday. Harvest House is on monthly, and I think, if I remember right, they're on a week from Monday. I'm not quite sure. I mean, I know they're on in about 10 days. So I know these people, and I know what they do, and I know how much they appreciate the exposure because I know them I've gotten to know them very well, and fundraising and publicity is 24/7.
It is. I don't think I put my phone down, and everyone always makes jokes that I'm always on my phone, but it's always work.
Well, how did you get into this yourself? I mean, it's I know we talked before, and you come from South Carolina, come from coastal Carolina, and you got a degree in this, right?
Yeah, my degree is in sport and recreation management and a minor in hospitality and marketing and all of that. I have been working in baseball 9 or 10 years now. So it's been a long time. I did summer college league throughout the Carolinas while I was still in school, and then jumped quickly into AAA ball. And that's just where I've spent most of my time, and got fortunate to get the gig in Colorado after COVID with the Rocky Mountain Vibes. And my boss, Chris Jones, who has been a phenomenal teacher for me, has just helped me grow and brought me down here with him to keep growing.
Megan Hollowell Swearingen said, we loved working with Kay, and we all had a blast at the Railroaders game in May. She'll be on in a couple of weeks.
Oh, awesome.
And Megan, if you're listening, tell Summer to work on her first pitch. I saw that. When she bounced one in, about 4 or 5 hops to the plate.
It is not easy. I go up there and we take BP sometimes when the team's off the field and throw a couple, and I could not do it.
So all your staff is also into baseball as well.
Yeah. We're pretty big baseball fans, and
I mean, it's not that it's a boys' sport and whatever, but not everybody is a baseball fan, particularly young ladies. How did you get to be a fan of baseball?
mostly my father. We grew up. I think I spent every night and weekend at the rec league watching my dad play baseball, sitting in the dugout playing with dirt, and of course I played, and my brother played, and now my brother's also working in baseball out in Myrtle Beach as a groundskeeper. So it's become a family thing.
What did you play?
I was softball. I was a catcher, but I also played some other sports too.
Okay, well, good for you. You need to play a lot of sports. One of the things that my friends that are in the coaching business, since I'm a former teacher, I knew several of them. they advise play the sport of the season, not just But we got baseball year round, and they say that's not really good for a young person. They need to play basketball and football and track as well, not just 365 days of baseball.
Yeah,
they said it hurts their arms.
Yep. Oh, yeah. I had a lot of arm issues, and that's why I didn't get a college career. But yeah, running in the off season and track and indoor track was something we were always kind of told we needed to do, and we just did it, and it definitely helps and improves.
Well, so back to you. You go to Colorado. You work for the Rockies.
Rocky Mountain Vibes.
Well, I thought you worked for. Well, you worked with the Colorado Rockies, right?
In smaller capacities,
right? Okay,
but
right.
not as an official,
right.
In the marketing roles that I've been doing.
Okay, so how did you get contacted to come to the Railroaders? I mean, I'm sure the first time Mr. Jones, I guess, called you and said, "Come to Cleburne." You're like, "Where's Cleburne?" Right? Is that what happened?
Yeah, I definitely looked it up on a map. I had actually come to Fort Worth once or twice with some friends for just some girls' weekends, and I already liked the area, and so I said, "Sure, let me come down and check it out, see how it goes first." So I actually attended as a fan the last series of last season, and about 5 minutes in, I just was in love. The facility is amazing, the ballpark, the energy, the fan base. How welcomed into a family that I was in the 20 minutes that I was walking around that ballpark meeting some of our season ticket holders and some of our partners. I walked back inside and I said, "All right, I'm ready to sign this offer letter. Like, let's go." And I came down pretty immediately when the season ended.
Well, it's, this whole area is growing quite a bit. Burleson in particular, I've been here since the late 80s, and it's totally different, And Fort Worth itself is a lot different. I mean, when I was a kid, no one went downtown Fort Worth. I mean, there's nothing there. And now they got all this stuff going on, and they're talking about expanding the stockyards, and they got Panther City Island coming on, or Panther Island, and all this stuff going on, and it's a great place to live.
It is. And I've loved my time here, and it's a great home.
Well, let's hopefully you can stick around. I mean, because the baseball life is a bit nomadic, isn't it?
It is. I've moved around. I joke that I've lived in almost every state, but I truly have. I've been all over for baseball, and that's just been an exciting experience for me, especially in my early 20s. Getting that. All right, this season's over. Where do I want to live next? And having those experiences has been huge. But I also am ready to find that home, and Cleburne and Texas has been so homey for me, and it's been great.
And it's a nice stadium too. I mean, when I came out to visit with you, I've been in the ballpark, but you showed me some other areas. And so tell me about, tell our listening on it, it's about that club area.
Oh, our classic club, that is one of my favorites. It's we use it year round. I use it every day. We have our classic club upstairs. It's indoor with balcony seating. It's got a full bar up there, all the TVs. We host, I think November and December, every single weekend is booked for Christmas parties every year. Birthday parties we do up there. We've done ceremonies, dinners. We did our meet and greet with Pete up there. That's where we did our World Series trophy appearance, and we will again in July. It's a great spot.
It really is, and you can see the game from there, certainly, and it's in air-conditioned comfort.
Yes, AC is a hot priority here.
No, well, but you have groups that rent it out before the game, but you also said once the game starts, the fan can wander up there and get himself a Dr. Pepper or a beer or hot dog or whatever he wants.
Yeah, it is open to the public once game starts, or open to fans once the game starts, and they do amazing food and drink specials up there. I know last Sunday we did a chicken and waffles special, and I snuck one. It was the best chicken and waffles I've ever had. Amazing. I think everyone on the staff ate it.
Perks of the job. You get to go there and sneak in. You don't have to sneak in. You're part of the staff. You can walk wherever you go.
Well, I have to test what I'm marketing.
Yeah, right. There you go. Right. You can't recommend the food if you haven't tried it.
Yeah.
No, that's the way to watch a ball game. I'm getting to that point where once you've gone to the club level or it's like flying first class. You can't go back to coach. I mean, you just can't, right?
Yeah. Once you get spoiled, there's no going back. There's no sitting in the back rows anymore.
No, but see, everybody gets a good seat at the ballpark there. I mean, you're not going to get, blocked vision, or you're going to be able to see the whole game very easily. And I know you have probably different ticket prices, but they're still pretty much a bargain. They really are, because, as much as I love the Rangers, And I'd like to go. I'd like to see him more often. I can't afford to see him more often. That's just all there is to it. And as far as the Cowboys, you can forget it. They're ridiculous. But you a football fan too, by any chance?
Well, I did grow up in New England, so I know a lot of people don't like when I bring it up. But yes, I am a huge Patriots fan. Tom Brady Day was yesterday. We retired the jersey. It's a big day.
Well, yeah. I've been watching the Cowboys since I was old enough to understand what I was looking at, and we're still waiting for another Super Bowl, Jerry. Just in case you're listening, I bet he's hanging by us. I wonder what Mr. Allard's got to say. Okay, hey. Well, back to
that wasn't against you. That was against Jerry.
Oh, okay. Well, back to baseball. Anyway, so how does a group get in contact with you? Because we have other groups, and not just Burleson groups. I'm sure Cleburne and others have theirs as well. How does a group get a hold of you for all these nights? Do you reach out to them? They reach out to you?
A little bit of both. Our phone lines and our emails are always open and on with group rates or group opportunities, things like our charity spotlights. Just give us a call if you haven't heard about it. Look us up on our Facebook, on our website. It's all that information's there because we have group discounts. We do these charity spotlights. We do as much as we can. If you guys have ideas or things you want to do here, we'd love to have it out at the ballpark. We've done some really cool honoring ceremonies on the field, and I want to keep doing that.
Well, we've mentioned Next Step, we mentioned Harvest House, we mentioned Crazy Eights. I know the Center for Autism would be a good group to visit with if you haven't yet.
I love working with Lisa. She's one of my favorite people here.
Well, speaking of which, when I was talking about upcoming shows, and I was pretty excited. I was telling my B&I group that I got the Railroaders as a sponsor and all this other stuff, and then you must be talking with Kay then. I mean, you're actually fairly well known in some of this area of Burleson in a good way.
I appreciate it. It really is. The community is just so homey. Being involved in Rotary and the Chamber have been it's been so welcoming. Especially it's just me and my dog when I move here, so needed that family feel and the friends, and they did it. And I'm glad that we're getting the word out there about the Railroaders on the back end of it, too.
Well, about a week ago, I had the Chamber on. I have them on pretty regularly, and Melissa Miller was on there, and I was going through the ads, and I had y'all's up at the end. Oh, Kay's part of our group. And apparently you're having some sort of young professionals get together.
Yeah, we have our young professionals happy hour, I believe, the 26th. All the dates get away from me over at Fresco's in
like
the bar
one?
area. Yes.
See
so that's our next one. Perfect. And it's been really fun to work with Melissa and Sarah and Jessica while she was there. And yeah, the Chamber's amazing. I'm also in the Leadership Burleson, which that's next Wednesday. It's all Wednesdays. Wednesdays are the big day.
Sarah's another former student of mine, and I'm very fond of her. I always have been. And it was her birthday yesterday, so happy birthday, Sarah.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. But as far as getting out there and getting the word out, that's the way to do it in this town. I mean, we don't have like local media except for Mr. Allard's neighborhood, I guess. Yeah. Well, we don't. Yeah. Yeah. Well, we don't have a newspaper like we used to, and we don't have our dedicated radio station. So this is the way to do it. This is how you do it in Burleson, is personal one-on-one connections. And that's a good thing.
It is.
And it really is because, sitting here in this chair, I get to meet all these different people and get a kind of handle on all these different groups. And I've been really, really impressed with the quality of people we have going on. The Chamber's great. And all these nonprofits, I'm always mentioning this on the air about how once a year we have on Giving Day, we have all the nonprofits come in and give us short little, sit in the seat, give a little short little description of what they got going on. And then afterwards they all get together and we pass the mic around and talk about it. And they kind of commune about what's like, what's their common stresses and common concerns and joys and things of that nature. And it's a great show. I mean, you're just like, how did we get these kind of people? Megan's and her cohort, Summer, they're emblematic, I guess, of what makes Burleson the best.
Yes, and I firsthand, from the few months that I have been here, have just felt and experienced that, and it's been amazing, and why I want to be here and keep giving back.
Hey, tell me what you put at the next week's baseball schedule. The homestand. The big homestand from June 18th to 23rd. How long is this homestand? I mean, I know there's a long one. Is this going on to the second week as well, right?
Yeah, so we do 6-game homestands in July. I think we play almost every weekend except for one weekend with a little all-star break in there. But This one I'm really excited about with our Salute to Heroes that we do every Thursday. We're giving a special T-shirt giveaway. So that one's new. And then Saturday is going to just be crazy day with our Throwback to the Cleburne Eagles night, our rain giveaway.
Yeah, I remember, I don't remember the Eagles themselves because they were a long time ago. But back in the day, almost every community of any size had a minor league baseball team. I mean, that was... back in maybe the 19-teens, 20s, and 30s, everybody had a team. And sometimes big companies had teams, semi-pro teams and whatnot. Baseball didn't get to be the national pastime by accident. But I look at this schedule, got Tasty Tuesday. What is that?
Yeah, each Tuesday we feature a different kind of crazy sometimes food special that you can get in the concourse. This week is the Panic Dog because Tuesday is National Panic Day. And I got a sneak preview of it. It's jalapenos, pickles, and cheese on top of a hot dog, so you never know what bite you're going to get.
Okay.
It was surprisingly, it was really good. The pickles one, my favorite.
Really? So the jalapenos is not something you're probably used to eating. I'm eating in Colorado or South Carolina. Or
yeah, I'm not a spicy eater.
Well, you grew up that way in Texas. Jalapenos, with your Cheerios. But
yeah.
All right, and Wiener Wednesday.
That's our $1 hot dog. So kind of everybody's favorite. I know. We have plenty of fans that they come specifically for a $1 hot dog night, and they get their $1 worth.
Well, sure. I mean, you go, it's a couple of bucks, and maybe whatever goes with it, beer or Coke or whatnot, and you've had your meal, and got to watch baseball while you do it. That's a deal right there.
Oh yeah.
And then Salute to Heroes, is that the 92.1 also going to be part of that?
Yes. So 92.1 Hink FM is our presenting sponsor for this night. We work on that with them on a few different things, but they designed a really awesome T-shirt that we are giving away. And if you follow our social media, I have highlights of that coming this week. But we also wear our military jerseys on this night every Thursday, and it's a really special night. We do a lot of tributes to our local heroes.
And Fireworks Friday? That's every Friday, right?
Every Friday, yep. We do a couple extras throughout the year, but Fridays are always my favorite. I remember growing up when we did the 4th of July fireworks in town. Those were my favorite, and we're thankful to have those here. And La Moderna being our sponsor on that just makes it even more fun. We get our Pasta City jerseys in, and you're at the Pasta Bowl, have some mac and cheese, brisket mac and cheese, bacon mac and cheese, all that.
And with the throwback, you get the Marcus Semien replica ring.
Yes. So we have 500 Marcus Semien replica World Series rings to give away on that day. It's one per person. I know we're going to have a crazy line at the gates for that night, but we're really excited that we're able to do a giveaway like this because it's going to be one of the biggest ones we do of the year.
Spike's Kids, what's that?
Yeah, so Spike, our mascot, has a kids club that's really fun. Every Sunday, our kids club members get in free, but our kids club program is also free. So really, it's just a lot of free things for kids on this day. You get to run the bases after the game.
Ooh, that's fun.
A couple of the sponsors give out free Kona Ice and free Chick-fil-A, and yeah, there's a lot of good fun things on this day, and it's a little slightly earlier of a game, but still late enough to kind of beat most of the heat there and just enjoy a night at the ballpark.
But you also got events that go on at the ballpark other than the baseball. Don't you have a concert coming up?
We do. So after the season ends, we have Randy Rogers Band coming to perform on October 5th, and that's going to be huge. I'm really excited to kind of work on the team and work with the team to have a concert at the ballpark because I think it's one of the first ones that we're doing here in Cleburne. And with Randy Rogers being from Cleburne, I think that's it's a monumental night that it's going to be.
It is. And hopefully it might become a stop. We can get Randy Rogers and then, I don't know, try to get some other name acts. Burleson has 2 or 3 really, really good bands that play the local area. And there's my friend Susie Morgan and her band and trying to remember the name. It was Mike Perdue's band. I forgot the name of his band. Sorry, Mike. But there's other bands out there that play a lot of the local stuff. So, if you ever had a need to have a band, you've got plenty to choose from in this Johnson County area.
Oh, yeah. I love on the off weekends getting to do local music and live music and all of that stuff. I've done it quite a few times, and it's been so exciting.
Now, also, you got something coming up on the 4th, right?
Yeah. So 4th of July is our fireworks night. We've got our home game here, and it's going to be the biggest fireworks show of the season. The next night is going to be the second biggest with our typical firework Fridays. But 4th of July is always a really special day for me. I think COVID was the first and only time in my last 10 years that I was not working at a baseball game on 4th of July with post-game fireworks. And it was weird. So it's always my favorite night at the ballpark.
My wife loves fireworks. She'll drag me out there to see them. The community here has fireworks. And also we have a 4th of July parade, and it's actually going to be on the 4th. And I was very fortunate. Mr. Mason, Sanford Mason of the American Legion, invited me to ride with them on there. So maybe I need to be wearing a railroader hat.
Yeah.
Okay.
I forgot it, and it's all my fault. You're getting so much gear sent to you soon.
Well, I'll tell you what. After this show, we'll work out a time because I may be in the area tomorrow.
Perfect.
So, but anyway, the big fireworks show, it's a big deal. I've seen the fireworks show, even if I wasn't at the game. I remember about 2 years ago. They've been doing this for a while. And
those fireworks are legit.
Yeah, and I was in that area, and I saw kind of pulled over and watched. That's kind of a neat thing to do.
It is, and it's not your quick one-off show on a normal Friday. So when we say it's the biggest show of the season, like we're already getting a 5 to 7 minute show with themed music and all of that. So yeah, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be awesome. The fireworks company we work with is phenomenal. So they do very well.
We're going to have a lot of fireworks in this area. And there's
going to be a loud
Johnson
night.
County. Yeah, Johnson County just seems to specialize in that kind of thing because a lot of communities have their shows and whatnot. But y'all will blow them away, no doubt. Who are y'all playing, do you know?
Ooh, off the top of my head,
Yeah.
I feel like we play Lake Country. I think that's who we play.
Lake Country, that's from where?
That's
Illinois?
the Wisconsin. That's where we are right
Wisconsin.
now. It's like, I can't even try to pronounce it.
Yeah, right. Who is? Do you have a rival? I guess that somebody like, oh, it's the accursed Winnipeg, whatever's.
I don't think we have one. I haven't seen one yet that's come. I think they're all really great competitors. So it's all a competition. And I mean, last week you'll see we blew them out 3-4 nights in a row and then dropped one. It's all competitors.
How does one get tickets other than just show up? I mean, you have an online process?
Yeah. I mean, showing up, I love to see your guys' faces at the ballpark, especially on an off day because I'm always there. But railroaderbaseball.com, giving us a call. If you message the Facebook or any of our social media pages, I run those. So I'll see them and I'll be able to respond and help you out as well.
So can you buy them online?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Railroaderbaseball.com is probably the quickest way to get your tickets and the easiest.
Anyway, they print them off at the home and bring them up.
Yeah,
or on the
it's
phone.
a fully digital system, so
Okay.
you can just show that QR code on your phone. But I'm a paper person, so
I am
print them
too.
out. I get just as excited.
I always like to go to a sporting event, keep the stub. It's kind of a
I
souvenir.
have a whole drawer full. Yeah.
I no doubt that's true. Do you make it to the Rangers a lot to watch their games?
I did before our season started. I've been slacking on getting up there, so I need to go soon. I'm going up this weekend for Chris Stapleton because they do, of course, like us, concerts and other events. So when I can, I get up there, and it's really exciting.
Do you get any kind of discount?
No, not like I should.
That's what I'm thinking. Hey, help a fellow baseball fan out here. Your fellow professional baseballer.
Oh yeah, it's an exciting time up there. You always joke when we're off, we're still watching baseball. I watch our games every night to do the score updates, and one of our last breaks, I had to go home and ended up watching my brother's game. So I don't not watch baseball every single day.
When you say you're watching baseball, it's streaming, right?
Yes,
Or-
yep. So we can stream all of our games for free on the road and at home. So if you can't come to a game, especially with the distance on some of our road games, it's great to be able to watch them online, and it's free. So
Yeah, I can't imagine you getting a lot of railroader fans in Gary, but you never know, right?
Hey, actually, I'm in charge of the merchandise as well, and I do see where some of our orders going. We get a lot to Indiana and Illinois. So
Really?
after playing in Chicago last week, we got a lot of online orders from that area. So that's
Really?
really exciting to see. It's fun to put them on a map on where orders are shipping out to.
So back to the streaming. So if you don't make it to the game, you can still watch it. So how do you access it?
Yeah, so our league is great. It's aabaseball.tv. You can make a free streaming account. There are paid versions if you want to be able to watch replays and rewatch old games and all of that. But to watch live, it's aabaseball.tv.
aabaseball.tv.
Yep.
And so, I mean, And at the stadium, you have a streaming hookup then, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, the league puts on a really good production and broadcasts us out as much as possible. You can get the app right on Roku. So I know most people have Rokus or Apple TVs, and you can download that app for AA Baseball and sign right in.
That's interesting. Do you have play-by-play and all that?
Yeah, our play-by-play announcer, Brad, he is on the road every home series, or every road series. He's on every home series. He does not miss a beat.
Really? Okay, I thought Jeff Smith was whom y'all talked with.
He's our PA announcer, so he does our home games. Yep.
Yeah, Jeff's well known around this area. He does a lot of that stuff, and he also does it for TCU.
Yep, TCU. Yeah, he's all over. He's been up at Globe Life as well. So
yeah, he's a big shot. But
he is.
But so you have play-by-play. I mean, that's interesting because it shows how far minor league baseball's gotten because it wasn't like that forever.
Yeah, people are, and it's fun too because we can pull reports and see that our games are being watched around the world. It's not just parents or our local area that are watching. It's nationwide. It's around the world. It's everybody.
I just wonder how somebody, say in a foreign country, says, "I want to watch a Cleburne Railroad game." I mean, they must have some connection to this area.
I think so.
Yeah.
Or I'm just doing real good on marketing.
We'll go with that. I like that. I will go with that because that is good. So back to the game. You for the rest of the season, you have all your special nights lined up, right?
Yep.
So when do you start lining up for next year?
Actually, we start talks right around now. I don't really ever stop planning if I see something that I think would be really good. I make a notes sheet and we start working on it. I actually started kind of this past week working on the giveaways for next year and things like that. So it's constantly changing. They could change within a week and we do something new, but we're always planning.
So they better
and thinking
call
about
you
next
now.
Year.
Well, you're going to get calls. I mean, because after people saw the nonprofits being promoted, you're going to get a lot more calls. And when you do promote these nonprofits, it's more than just exposure. I mean, there's also fundraising attached to it as well,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, no, we want to give them kind of a full slate that they would be getting if they were a sponsor of the night. They get that honoring ceremony during pregame with the first pitch. They get that marketing table to touch every single fan that comes in the ballpark and hand them information, collect information. The fundraiser, we do advertising throughout the game for them. We want to make sure that they're hitting every single fan in our ballpark.
So you do this for private businesses as well?
Different opportunities, but yes,
Okay.
we want to keep these nonprofits special.
Well, I would imagine, but I also go out there and see all the signage and whatnot. But I thought, that'd be a good place for a sign. But
Yeah, we have a lot of good spots to
Yeah.
hang up your logo and a lot of opportunities kind of across the board for partners to come in. And there's really nothing we can't do between our games, our giveaways, the advertising on the video board games, all that.
So I would advise, if you're out there listening to this or listening to it later, if you want to get a piece of this action, here's who you talk to. You need to talk to Kay and get that all taken care of because if you snooze, you lose. I mean, but coming close to the end here, just when you talk about the off season, what do you do?
Yeah, off season is just as busy. That is where we are in full blown planning mode for next year. We are going out, and that's when I actually really have the time to get involved in the community, and I get to do most of my service. This past off season, leading up to the season, we got to read to 10,000 students around Johnson County, Hood County, all the Tarrant County, everywhere around here. We got to read to. So we're doing our best to give back as well as get ready for another exciting season and come up with new and fun things to have you enjoy your time at the ballpark.
Well, I thought you also did a little outside work, a little freelance in your freer time. Do you do that still?
Personally, yes. If I have some time, I love to kind of jump in and help with other businesses and other organizations. I did back in Colorado, worked with a rodeo, and one of my favorite projects that I've gotten to work on.
Well, advertise yourself right here. Tell us what you can do for them in the off season.
I'm always just a helping hand. There's nothing I really say no to. Marketing's
An
really my
off-season
niche.
podcast.
An off-season podcast.
Jeez, okay, Taylor.
We're gonna work together. It has to happen.
Yeah.
There's just a slew of things that I've been able to learn throughout the years, from sales to the marketing to social media. That's really where I hone in on, and graphics and things like that.
So
we rock out.
So if a business here in Burleson needs a short-term marketing structure set up, you're there for it, huh?
I can be, yeah. And it's more of just a passion project for me than anything. It's fun, and I actually have a little bit of time, and it's weird for me to have downtime, so I like to fill it with more work.
Yeah, well, okay. But when we meet again towards the end of the season, because I think we have 2 or 3 shows lined up, we could start pushing that more seriously. Hey,
there we
hire
go.
this girl, that kind of thing. Okay, we're right at the end. So tell us what you would want the average fan to know about the Cleburne Railroaders.
Yeah, every night is different. Every night is an element to bring affordable family fun. I always like to say that I do my best to make it so you don't even know what's going on the field, but we are blessed this year with an amazing team, so it's the best of both worlds. You're getting a great game as well as a great night of entertainment, and every night's different. So if you've been once or you've been in the past, you really haven't. So we'll see you at the next one.
Well, I'm really glad that y'all are doing so well. I really am. It really adds a lot to this, not just Burleson, but this whole county and this whole area, to have this kind of quality entertainment and my favorite sport. I mean, I like the college sports, football and basketball better than pros, but my favorite pro sport by far is baseball for so many reasons, and because I don't know. I remember even when I was a kid listening to the Rangers on WBAP radio, back in the day, and 12 years old and listening to the Rangers. And I think I almost cried when in 1974 when they didn't make the playoffs. Back then it was, they didn't. It's either you had 2 playoff teams, from each division. Yeah. That's it, right? And I remember the Rangers were doing great, but the A's beat us out, and I remember almost getting choked up. That kind of thing. So that's the kind of thing that happens. With football, I don't know if I ever cried over the Cowboys. Well, I have cried over the Cowboys, but for different reasons. So anyway, well, I'm glad you're here. And we're going to see you again on July 2nd, so we could promote to July 4th some more. And I believe, I'm just looking further into the calendar, I believe we also have July 25th. So we're going to see you much more than just now. Guys, check out, AA Baseball.
AABaseball.tv to watch us on the road, and railroaderbaseball.com to get tickets to our next homestand.
All right. I appreciate you being here. I enjoy it. Thank you, Taylor, for all your wizardry.
Always.
And we're going to be back at 11. I'm going to be talking insurance. I mean, it's one of those topics that you don't want to talk about until you need to talk about it. So I've got Cindy Milstead coming in, and she's going to tell us what to look for and what to watch out for. So we'll see y'all then.